Let's go, guys. So today we have so much to talk about with the brand new Pokemon, some of the new reveals that we could be potentially seeing within hopefully the near future. I'm just gonna really say hopefully it's gonna happen soon. This is one of my favorite topics with Winds and Waves. It's just talking about the new Pokedex. I feel like we're gonna be in for a wild one. I mean, the region looks awesome so far. So obviously, brand new region. It's gonna be a big region. Brand new Pokedex, brand new Pokemon, brand new convergent forms, brand new regional variants. Like, we are in for a wild one this time around, I feel like. And right before we hop into it, I just want to say thank you so much, guys, for 40,000 subscribers. I just think that's absurd. That is unbelievable in my eyes. So thank you so much. You guys all rock so much. You mean the absolute world to me. But with that being said, let's get right into it today. Now, this is kind of like a news dump video with specifically the topic of new Pokemon. So stay tuned, guys, and let me know your thoughts and your theories after watching, because I feel like there's some very interesting hints and teases in this video. So first of all, let's start with the Ball Guy tweet. So we just covered this with the seed Pokemon. Somebody said, by the way, is the story darker than most Pokemon games? Ball Guy saying slightly. The champion is epic, but also shows some hostility towards you at first as you protect Seed, which is the seed Pokemon, which is one of the brand new Pokemon that seems very interesting. Like, it's a unique Pokemon, very unique. Speaks to you in a way that screams he will do anything to protect the region, no matter what it involves. There's elements of ongoing sickness with one of your friends too. So that sounds like it's going to be more of a serious tone with the storyline, which is great. That's what we all want, right? And basically protecting Seed. So maybe we're going to get this brand new Pokemon at the very beginning, or like very early on in the game, because if we're talking to the champion and he's having hostility towards us at first, like when we start protecting the seed Pokemon, that makes me think we're gonna get this brand new Pokemon very early in the game. And now my theory is it's gonna kind of act as like Cordon and Meridon did in Scarlet and Violet, as in the sense of it being like a seventh kind of Pokemon in your party, where you can still have all 6 Pokemon in your party, and then of course you could spawn in Cordon, Meridon to, like, you know, ride or glide or swim, whatever. Now what that means is I don't know if we're gonna be able to use this Pokemon in battle until like a certain amount of time, like get to a certain point in the game where we can level this Pokemon up and change its form and stuff. I don't know what the typings are gonna be. Maybe it's gonna start off as like a normal type or something, but this is a riddle about Seed in 3 parts. Really interesting. Let me know your thoughts and theories about this once again. And on this next specific response, maybe a very light story spoiler. So if you don't want to read this, you don't want to see this, just skip about 30 to 40 seconds and then you just go right over it. So Ball Guy saying, think of it as the major corporation of the region with business relations to a group to do bidding for them. The same corporation is responsible for those laboratories. So it seems like this will be one of the evil teams of the region that's like a big business. Maybe the, you know, general public doesn't understand or know that they are bad, I guess. So seems really interesting that they're connected to these Majin labs. Anyway, so with that seed Pokemon, it does seem like it's gonna be a very early on Pokemon, maybe a special kind of type Pokemon. As far as we know, it's not a legendary and it's not actually a mythical. It doesn't really have any specific, I guess, like rarity level. It's essentially just going to be its own thing, right? Except there's only going to be one of them in the region, apparently. Every single person's specific gameplay, of course, they're just going to have one of the seed Pokemon. Now let's move on to something very interesting in relations to the yellow Shellos. Now this has been huge. This is one of the biggest topics with brand new Pokemon for Winds and Waves, in my opinion, because we've seen so many people talk about it, and Game Freak themselves have hinted it a lot. They've hinted it multiple times. So I actually had a viewer here on the channel saying, here's the Smear Guru painting I mentioned in one of your last videos. It seems pretty much like it has a similar head shape to the pink Shellos with a white tuft on its back. There's actually some similar nudibranch found in Bali in the Great Barrier Reef of Australia. I don't think it's too much of a stretch to say this is a glimpse left in plain sight of yellow Shellos coming into Winds and Waves or the Pokopia DLC. Okay, so the reason why he's bringing up Australia is specifically because part of the map is apparently going to be Australia. Like the very bottom of the map, we could see just the very top spot of Australia, which could lead people to believe, you know, maybe the DLC is going to be Australia. I could totally see that. But here is a Smear Guru painting, and I know it just looks like a yellow blob. Like, I know, I see it too, but if you really do look at it, it really is reminiscent of a yellow Shellos. You can see the head right here, the stuff on top of its head, of course the body right here, and of course like the white, you know, little accents on its back. Now this is a picture made by Cardinal to kind of represent what a yellow Shellos would pretty much look like, and of course in Pokopia the game literally does hint that a yellow Shellos is technically out there. It is very like Game Freak to hint at future Pokemon, put little Easter eggs in. I bring this one up because I think it's one of the best examples of this. In the Scarlet and Violet DLC, there was a block of Ditto, and guess what? We got an entire game that's literally focused on Ditto as the main character. So this is something I would definitely save and mark for the future, because I feel like this is going to pay off, and I really do see this happening in the future. It also does make me wonder if we're going to get another Shellos for North, East, South, and West. So maybe another color is going to happen, but I feel like it's probably more likely just to get yellow for now, and then maybe the DLC could introduce another color, and of course Gastrodon hopefully would get some new colors as well. So also for Art talking about the starter Pokemon again, and he thinks that he has narrowed it down to a few options for each. So the new art of Brout and Pombon definitely persuade me of two things. Brout looks like it's a running bird, so a cassowary, emu, chocobo, terror bird are all on the table. However, the peafowl in its name and its owl origin still gives me a pause. We can see underneath Pombon's paws better here, and I'm not really sure if those are meant to be fire kanji or just a stylistic choice. Kanji paw prints that it could leave behind, like finger painting and the calligraphy brush on its head, make me think that it's going to be a painter, but I don't know if it will do that or if it will go on the whistling dog route due to the heat coming from its lugs, or maybe both. A whistling painter. And here's what he's talking about on his paws right there, which that is pretty similar to the kanji for fire symbol. I personally feel like the starter Pokemon evolutions are going to be awesome. I feel like they're going to be crazy. And dude, Brout running, I would have never expected this stubby Pokemon to be a runner, but I could totally see this happening. So many people think it will be cassowary or an emu or something like that, and I am down for that. I am 100% down to see that. The starter Pokemon, in my opinion, are probably going to be one of the next reveals as far as a new Pokemon goes. I think the next trailer is going to reveal the starter evolution, so the second and third stage, and the legendary Pokemon. That's my personal opinion of the next Pokemon we will see. And on top of that, I also do think it would be possible in that same trailer or whatever reveal they end up doing, I think it's possible to just see a couple early route Pokemon, like some of the very easy to find, the common Pokemon that are all over the place. I think that's very likely. Or the next trailer, because it could be a huge trailer, because if it's not happening until Pokemon Day, which I don't know if I believe that, I would say it's very possible that it could reveal just a stupid amount of Pokemon. Like, could you imagine if this next trailer pretty much only revealed new Pokemon as far as like the Pokemon that we get to see in the overworld? And the reason I'm saying that is because the first trailer that we saw for this game was already real gameplay. Like, that was already real footage of the game, real gameplay, some real Pokemon in the game, and of course we did see the starter Pokemon. So we have seen 3 Pokemon for the new generation so far. And the reason I'm saying that is because the first Legends ZA trailer was just kind of like a completely animated trailer, no real gameplay footage. So you know, the second trailer for that game, not showing anything really brand new as far as Pokemon or, you know, the Mega Evolutions go, did make a lot of sense. I feel like the second trailer for Winds and Waves is going to be even bigger than the first. Okay, so this next one is a stretch. I'm going to say that right now. It is definitely a stretch, but it's very interesting. Light88 saying, maybe there could be new Pokemon revealed soon. There are 2 new Japan airlines that are created in collaboration with Pokemon for the 30th anniversary, which the first 2 planes have grass and a fire type, you know, all the starters from Charmander and Bulbasaur all the way to Pombon and Brout. So there's a 3rd and final blue aircraft that has yet to be revealed. He's saying it seems to include a brand new Pokemon from Winds and Waves, and the reason why I'm saying this is a stretch is because of the fact that if it's going to be all the starter Pokemon, you know, grass and fire so far, the 3rd one is 99.99% just going to be all the starter water Pokemon from Gen 1 to Gen 10, which in my opinion does make a lot of sense, but it's also at the same time like, why have they not revealed this one? So it could potentially be maybe that new Pokemon that Navi has, but I just don't think it's very likely. I think it's going to be Gekwa. Could you imagine how insane that would be if they were to reveal it? But like I said, I don't think this is going to happen. I think that this is just straight up the water starters, but I wanted to bring it up in the very, very rare chance that it is going to happen, only because it is a little suspicious that they have apparently only revealed 2 of these airplanes and not the 3rd one yet. But yeah, so this one probably debunked, but I guess we'll see. And more about that seed Pokemon. So this is based on the Ball Guy tweet, I believe, saying that the seed Pokemon could primarily revolve around having multiple forms, with its identity centered on transformation and adaptation rather than a single fixed appearance. And then the heat or Netsu may be the core principle behind how the Pokemon function, since heat is the driving force behind the climate system, such as storms, winds, currents, evaporation, fire, and other environmental phenomena. And if you're wondering why we have the word Netsu, it's because of this post right here. And this is a sun right here with the seed Pokemon. Obviously Milcery is just like a filler Pokemon to put in there as a picture. It's not going to literally be Milcery as the seed Pokemon. Pokemon. This region could suffer from catastrophic climate conditions, including massive storms and instability, with the seed Pokemon potentially playing a key role in calming or restoring balance to them. And now, very light spoiler for Pokopia, if you haven't played, literally just skip 20 seconds and I'm done with this topic, but that is very similar to the Pokopia storyline. Let me just say that. It's very, very similar to the Pokopia storyline, so that's the only reason I'm saying like this probably may not be the case, because that's just too similar, right? The Pokemon could change forms through Generation 10's new mechanic, possibly rumored Majin system, allowing it to channel different states or energies depending on the situation, which that sounds definitely kind of more so where we're leaning. Maybe this new mechanic, evolution gimmick, will be helping the overall storyline of the game and the overall region. It's going to be really interesting to see, though. I cannot wait to see how this seed Pokemon functions, because it's very ambitious sounding and it seems like it is still happening. We had rumors of it being scrapped, but it seems like it is still happening. Let me know your thoughts and your theories, and let me know some Pokemon you think should be in this game based on the region. The region is going to be taking place in Southeast Asia, and like I said, a little bit of Australia should be on the map still. Let me know all your thoughts and your theories. Anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. If you are really watching this far in the video, comment down below palm tree, just the word palm tree. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.